Welcome back to Emilee's Paper Caper. Today I want to make some entries in my Ideas and Inspiration journal. This is a journal that I like to add to now and again. I've just used random letters and paper scraps to decorate the cover, and on the inside I add things that basically just collected inspiration and ideas. So I started this book on May 1st of 21. And my idea was to collect ideas for cards, scrapbook pages, different techniques, patterns, maybe ideas for collage and junk journals. So I'll show you what I have in here so far, and then we will add some new inspiration that I've been collecting for a while. Tucked in the front of this book is directions to using 6x6 papers on making cards, and it's called the 6x6 One Sheet Wonder. I did a video on this recently. I'll link to it up in the description if you want to check it out, but it shows you how to cut 6 different 6x6 papers and you create 12 different cards with 6x6 papers. It's super fun and a great way to stretch your 6x6 papers. So I have kept in here a reminder how to do a pamphlet stitch, some different page sketches that I've used in the past, an idea for using triangles and squares that I sketched out at some point. And then when I am out and about, I will often snap a picture of something that I think looks really interesting. For example, this is a quilt, and I have a punch that creates kind of a similar arrow, and I thought, well, my arrow isn't exactly the same as this, but I could use this design to create a background or embellish a card using this punch and paper scrap. So I wanted to remember what that was. Here's another one for triangles. Lots of quilts end up in here. I take pictures of quilts to remember the patterns. Here's another one that I could use this punch to create a similar pattern. I think Do What You Love was a sign that I saw probably in a store, and I thought, well, I really like how that lettering is designed, and I could probably do some similar swirls and flourishes on some lettering sometime. And I also just really liked the sentiment. So when I need to get inspired, I can pull this book out and look for some designs or patterns. Here's another pattern that I saw on a doorway grate, and I just snapped that because I think it's a really interesting geometric pattern. And so is this, a little table that has an interesting pattern with half circles. Some repeated patterns with shapes. This was a very graphic design at wall art at an ice cream shop that I was inspired by and thought, gosh, that's fun. I like the vibrant colors. They're kind of muted but also vibrant, and just the idea to draw inspiration from that. Here's a couple random photos from the It's a Small World ride at Disney World, and I just really like the geometric shapes here and the face on this sun. Some sugar skulls or designed skulls from the Mexican pavilion at Epcot Center, and I really liked this flourish. I thought that would look really pretty on a page as a border or some kind of a element on a scrapbook page. More pictures of designs. I believe these were at Disney World. This was a art in a hotel room we stayed in, and I just thought it was quite interesting. All circles but with different patterns in them, and I thought that was something that I might doodle or take inspiration from. This sign said think positive and work hard, and I thought that was really neat, and also the way these leaves were was really neat. I can't remember where this was from, but I think I probably took a screenshot or something from someone's art journal, and I thought it was really interesting. And then just the simple drips of paint was really interesting to me. I'm not sure what this was, maybe some stained glass or something. I thought it was interesting. More geometric. A quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we've got room for more. So let me show you what I've collected here. This was some floor tile that I thought was really cool. I'm going to use my Scotch ATG adhesive to get these inspiration pieces added. Right now I mostly have photographs to add, but it also could come in the way of a doodle or a sketch like I had at the beginning of the book. Pictures of sketches, page sketches that I've done. It's a mosaic floor that I thought was super cool. This building in Las Vegas is supposed to look like, I think it's the Venetian. And I really like all the designs here. There's squares and arches and really interesting. And I think the repeated pattern there is just fantastic. Here's a photo taken at the Moroccan Pavilion at Disney's Epcot Center, and I really love this arch as well as the kind of scalloped treatment there, and then the really beautiful blue and this pattern at the top. I found it super pleasing to the eye, and I thought I've got to include that in my idea book. This is just a repeated pattern and an interesting design here. I don't remember where that was taken, but you know, it was probably taken in a bathroom. That looks like maybe some tile in a bathroom, but just goes to show you inspiration can come from anywhere. This was a light fixture, and if you look really closely, you can see there's Mickey Mouse in there, but I thought it was really cool and something that I might be able to doodle or recreate in some way. This is a ceiling fixture at a barn restaurant. I thought it was just really cool, and I don't know, it belongs in this ideas and inspiration book. I think it shows how you can make something completely different. This is a wagon wheel, and now it's become a light fixture in this barn. Here's a picture of a single dandelion. I think the texture in that dandelion and the vibrant yellow against the green, it just inspires me, and so I'm putting it in the book. And then I was just at the Souder Heritage Inn last weekend, where they have many quilts hanging, and I've got pictures of these quilts to add. I think it's a great example of patterns using simple shapes. The triangles create squares, and then there's also this really cool border pattern that would look really great on a card or a scrapbook page. So I have multiple 10 or 12 different quilts here that I've taken pictures of with the intention of adding them to this book. And you may like to create a book like this for yourself. If you're the type of person that is sometimes not sure what you want to do, just collect some ideas that inspire you and put them in a book. This book was on clearance. I think I got it for less than $1 at Walmart a number of years ago, and I decided that I would use it for this purpose. But you could use any notebook you had on hand to create an ideas and inspiration book of your own. Could be a little spiral notebook or a notepad. Could even create a junk journal and collect your ideas and inspiration. When I saw this quilt, I knew I had to take a photo of it because it's a pattern of baskets. And I have this basket punch, and I thought, gosh, I could create some interesting patterns with the basket and then basically replicate this quilt pattern, make a version of it using that basket. This one's absolutely gorgeous. These photos don't do these quilts justice, but it gives me a way to remember the patterns here and to recreate or take inspiration from these patterns. If you have an ideas and inspiration book like this, I would love to hear about it. And if you have ideas for what else I could put in this book, please leave a comment down below. I would love your suggestions. I tend to put mostly photographs of things that have inspired me in this book, but certainly I can add other things as well. Keep on scrapping and paper crafting, everyone.